Hey friends. So in this video, we're going to go over some of the main ideas from the first meditation. Actually, we're going to focus our time on one of the main ideas, which is skepticism. So in the first meditation, Descartes says that he wants to question all of his knowledge. He wants to know that his knowledge has firm foundations. So he does this by invoking a skeptical hypothesis. He actually does a few in the course of the first meditations, but we're going to focus on one in particular, and that is the evil demon hypothesis. So the idea is that it's entirely possible that everything we see, everything we think, is all the result of an evil demon tricking us. So I might think that I see a bush outside of my window, but really that's the evil demon causing me to hallucinate, right? Or to misperceive what's actually there. I might think I hear a sound in the night, but actually it was just the evil demon tricking me into thinking I hear a sound. So the idea behind this is that everything we perceive and everything we think could just be the manipulations of a malevolent power. So, what's the deal with that? Well, the way this functions as a skeptical hypothesis is as follows. I have evidence that there is, in fact, a bush and a tree outside of my window. But that evidence also supports the claim that a demon, an evil demon, is deceiving me into thinking that there is a bush outside of my window. So my evidence that I see the bush, right, my perception of the bush, supports two different hypotheses. One, that there really is a bush out there, and two, that the evil demon is tricking me into thinking that there is a bush out there. So what this means is that I have no evidence, in this case, that would enable me to choose one hypothesis over the other. And since I don't have any evidence to choose one hypothesis over the other, then I have no rational reason to select one hypothesis over the other. So these are two equally well-supported hypotheses. One, that there's a bush outside of my window, and two, that an evil demon is deceiving me into thinking that there's a bush outside of my window. So how does this make us skeptics? Well, we can run the same kind of argument for anything we perceive and anything that we might think, right? Perhaps I believe that something is true, right? Perhaps I believe that today is Thursday. But again, an evil demon just might be tricking me into thinking that today is Thursday. So for wide swaths of our beliefs and our perceptions, we could be wrong. So what the argument does, is it removes the foundations for Descartes' beliefs. And so the question is with this skeptical hypothesis in play, is there anything that Descartes is justified in believing? Does he have reason to believe anything? So there's a modern version of this that I want to mention briefly, which is the simulation argument. Namely, we have as much evidence that there's a real world that exists as that we're living in a gigantic simulation. So each hypothesis that we live in a real world and that we live in a simulation, both of these hypotheses are supported by the evidence. And so we're left with a skeptical conclusion, which is we can't know if we're living in the real world or in a simulation.